Good morning, boys and girls. Today we are going to be going through chapter 3 from your 13 Colonies reader, which is all about Captain John Smith, somebody that we already talked about a little bit on Monday and Tuesday. So he is the one who came over from Jamestown. And remember, he wasn't the proper gentleman like a lot of the people who were considered to be in charge in Jamestown. He was kind of unusual because he was John Smith. Smith is a common name. He was just a tradesman, but he ended up being chosen as one of the top people in Jamestown, and people really listened to him. So we're going to be reading about him today. Eventually, people listened to him. Some of you might be thinking they did not at first, which is right. Okay, chapter 3, Captain John Smith. News from Jamestown. Now, Hannah and her mother wrote a letter back to Thomas. They told him that they missed him very much and asked him to write again as soon as he could. This is going along with that story from chapter 2. Now, months later, in the spring of 1608, Thomas's next letter arrived. Captain Newport brought the letter when he returned from Jamestown. To my family, Thomas's letter began. There have been many changes in our life here in Jamestown. In many ways, life has been hard, but we are working to keep our tiny colony alive. We owe our lives to John Smith. Without him, none of us would be alive today. When John Smith took his seat on the council, we were running low on food. He knew that it was too late in the year to plant crops. He also knew that the Native Americans, who we now knew as the Powhatan or Powhatan, had corn and other food. John Smith began visiting their villages. I often went with him. He began to learn their language and their way of life. We began to trade. We gave the Powhatan blankets, axes, and other things from England. In exchange, they gave us corn and fresh meat. Their food kept everyone from starving. We can all thank Captain Smith and the Powhatan for saving our colony. And 3 years later, it was a long time before Hannah and her mother received another letter from Thomas. Finally, in 1611, news from Thomas arrived. Please forgive me for waiting so long to write. I wanted to send you good news about Jamestown, but it was a long time before things got better. In fact, life in the colony became even harder than at the beginning, and many men died. The people living in Jamestown could not learn to work together. The council could not make life better for the colony. Then the council chose John Smith to be the leader of the colony. Smith made a new rule. Those who did not work could not eat. Some of the gentlemen complained, but Smith stayed firm. He would not change the rule. Does that sound like a good rule to you? I think it does, because these men weren't working because they were just being lazy. It's not that they had any problems that prevented them from working. They were just not working. So it makes sense that they wouldn't be able to eat food if they're not actually contributing. So after Captain Smith's new rule, more work got done. The fort was made larger and more houses were built. We dug a well so we could have cleaner water to drink too. Here they are. Now we cleared fields, planted crops, and caught fish. We traded more with the Native Americans. Captain Smith also taught us to use weapons to defend the fort. Captain Newport will sail back to England with a cargo of timber and boards cut from the forest in Jamestown by English gentlemen. Your loving Thomas. That's the end of the chapter. Very short little one about John Smith. So he had some very good management tools, and a lot of things improved once he was the one who was mainly in charge. Okay, that's all for today's chapter. You will have some notes to take as well. And tomorrow we're going to start a new chapter on more parts of Jamestown, specifically the chapter called Changing Times in Jamestown. So we'll get to that tomorrow. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Enjoy, and I will talk to you later. Bye.